You're listening to my WorldNet Daily exclusive audio article. My WorldNet Daily exclusive audio article is entitled "The Dems Open Pandora's Box and Release the Evil." The left figured out decades ago that anger and division were their friends and the only way to prevail against common sense and an individual's self-interest. For decades, the left has been able to just crack open Pandora's radical leftist box. They've successfully been able to allow just enough crazy out while sitting on the lid of the box, thus maintaining control of their crazies. The Democrats, with the help of their fellow travelers in the media, have for so long been able to control their crazies by placating them with endless promises and granting them a seat at the Democrat table, even if it is just the kids' table. But like the climate, things change. They must. In their arrogance, their hubris, the Democrats wrongly assume that because they had the strength to hold the box's lid shut in the past, it will always be this way. Well, the box of horrors may not have swung open completely, but it's ever closer to be. No longer are the crazies satisfied with a seat at the table. Assuming they ever knew, the loony left has lost sight of the Democrats' goal, to defeat Trump. Until Orange Man is vanquished, it will only be about Trump. But as I've written and discussed in the past, the crazies have something else in mind, and it seems the Dems and their media confederates have underestimated them and overestimated their own ability to close the box whenever it suits them. It's known that anger is a bad motivator. The reason is that it wears you out. It takes a lot of effort to stay angry. We've seen this in past protests. People get angry, they march, they protest, and then the anger subsides and they disperse and go home. Quite possibly this is what the Democrats and the media were counting on, but today's rioters and protesters aren't just blindly angry. For some, their motivation is not blind anger but ideology. Others just appear to enjoy the mayhem and destruction. Now it appears that at least some in the leftist media see the tide turning. Much to their credit, if you can call it that, the media are sounding the clarion call to action. They can see the narrative that they and the Democrats had crafted beginning to backfire. They see the riots the Democrats have allowed and actually encouraged are diverting from their stated goal, taking down Orange Man. In fact, according to the left's waterboy media, like Don Lemon, the, quote, mostly peaceful protests, unquote, are actually beginning to benefit Trump in the polls. A few days ago, Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo were discussing recent poll results. A very worried Lemon stated that, quote, the rioting has to stop. Chris, you know as I know, it's showing up in the polling. It's showing up in focus groups. It is the only thing right now that is sticking. I think maybe Joe Biden may be afraid to do it. He's got to address it. He's got to come out and talk about it, unquote. Now new data shows white support for the movement is dwindling, adding to the media panic. Now this has been known for months that these violent riots would eventually backfire on the Dems and contribute to another Trump election victory, but as I stated, I think they figured that it would run its course by now and that they could close the box. So is Lemon right? Must Biden address the elephant in the room? And if so, what could he possibly say to stem the tide of violence? And more importantly, will the violent, riotous fascists listen to the old man? I doubt it. Mere words won't close Pandora's box once it's been opened and the evil unleashed. Thank you for listening.